Hello and welcome to Dyslexia and Me, a short series where I talk about my personal experiences with dyslexia.
I want to start by giving an overview of what dyslexia is. Now, I'm no expert, but I do have dyslexia and I do have an understanding of the difficulties that come with dyslexia. Okay, so imagine that your brain is split into sections. Each section is responsible for its own activity. Now, for the life of me, the best explanation that I could give you is that dyslexia is a defect within your brain, which sounds rather daunting, I know, but dyslexia affects so much of your brain and so many areas of your brain, it's understandable why explanations are so broad. So how does dyslexia impact you? Well, it can impact your short-term memory, your handwriting skills, it can give you speech impediments, it also can give you a short attention span, and of course, it affects your literacy skills. People tend to focus on the negatives of dyslexia. However, they don't realise the positives of being dyslexic, like being creative and having a vivid imagination, being able to think in new perspectives, and being able to problem solve and being aware of their environments.
Now, dyslexia has so many different ways of presenting itself. Many people have dyslexia and they've had it all their life and it's caused them no problem, no issue, and they've just dealt with it. Whereas other people can struggle from a young age and it's seen as they're a slow developer. Now, sometimes it is purely just because a child is a slow developer. However, like me, it was because I was dyslexic. Now, when I found out I was dyslexic, I was in primary school, which is quite young to find out that you're dyslexic. However, the majority of my family has struggled with dyslexia, so it was not exactly obvious that I would have dyslexia, but there is some signs that dyslexia can actually be hereditary. You inherit it from your parents, basically. And it's not always the case, so if your parents don't have dyslexia and your child does, it doesn't always correspond that you have to have dyslexia. Your parents have to have dyslexia in order for your child to have dyslexia. It doesn't work like that. Now, because I found out that I was dyslexic so young, I managed to have additional support throughout primary school, high school, college, and now into university, which really helps. The sooner you find out if you are or if you're not dyslexic, it means that you can get that additional support. And the fact that you have that additional support from when you're so young, it helps you absorb that knowledge. The younger you are, the more you absorb. It's like I've known people who have gone up to college and not known they was dyslexic, and then got into college and teachers are trying to teach them all these new tricks that most dyslexic people find helpful, but then not being able to absorb that knowledge because it's things that should have been learnt when they was younger. Now, this being said, it's always advisable that you go and get yourself tested no matter how old you are. The more help that you have, the easier it can be on yourself. If you get yourself tested, you can also get things like additional time in exams, a scribe in exams, and a reader in exams. And for me, that was what was most helpful, the additional time and the support in exams. And the testing process isn't that difficult. It's not a case of answer every single question and you have to get everything right or you're going to fail it. It's just demonstrating what you can and can't do. If you suspect that you're dyslexic or your child is dyslexic, I would suggest that you go and get them tested. Now, you can get them tested in assessment centres or or usually they'll do it in your school if you contact like the head teacher, or if there's a learning support centre in the school, they should be able to help out. Something I would advise is don't struggle if you know that there's help out there. If you know that there's support within your school, within your college, you know that you can get that help, I just suggest going. Even if it doesn't turn out that you're dyslexic, they will still offer you support. It's their job to offer support. I know there's a stigma around being dyslexic, and being dyslexic means that you're done. It doesn't. If you think that you have dyslexia or you're struggling, go and seek support. And just remember, it's okay to be different. So, I'm going to leave you with that. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye!